Why do we procrastinate or put off the things that we know we have to do, even if they can significantly change our lives? Imagine what your life would look like right now if you were productive even 80% of the time. Your life would probably go from looking like this to looking like this. In this video, I'm going to be sharing two main psychological reasons why we procrastinate and how we can force our brain to be more productive. We've all been there before. We have a project, a list of goals, or a major task to complete, and we don't get started until we're almost at the deadline. All of a sudden, all of the energy and the motivation that we never had before suddenly starts rushing to our brain, and in the space of 1 hour, we are able to complete a task that we were putting off or procrastinating on for the past 2 weeks. The reason why this happens is because of this weird law known as the Yerkes-Dodson law. According to this principle, when you're bored or there's not enough stress to stimulate arousal, our brain goes into a state of decline, resulting in fatigue or laziness. So for optimum performance, there must be at least a moderate amount of stress or discomfort. This is why as deadlines approach, stress and urgency increases, triggering adrenaline and focus, thus making us more productive. There's also the fear of consequences. The closer we get to the deadline, the more we anticipate negative consequences like penalties or failure, or maybe even being embarrassed in front of our peers or family members, which further kind of forces us to act. So this is kind of counterintuitive, right? I mean, we were always told to avoid stress if it is that we want to be productive. But unless your brain is under some level of pressure, it will not perform optimally and you will continue to delay or put off the inevitable. However, too much stress and anxiety, on the other hand, can also have the opposite effect, making us less productive. Another reason why we don't get things done is because of another psychological phenomenon known as hyperbolic discounting. It's just a big word that simply means we discount the value and the importance of future rewards as opposed to more immediate results. So whenever the rewards for a task seems too far in the future, we naturally discount its importance or value. However, as the deadline for a goal or a project approaches, the consequences feel a lot more real, making the task urgent or seem urgent or more important than compared to before. So this is also known as the instant gratification bias. This is why we'd rather scroll on social media, hang out with friends, play a video game, or probably even watch a movie rather than do the important tasks that we have, because those activities gives us a taste of instant gratification, making us excited and happy in the present. So how can we force our brain to work and avoid unnecessary task avoidance? Parkinson's law states that work expands so as to fill the available time for its completion. So if you were given a week to complete a task, your mind will automatically assume that you have time, therefore negating urgency and importance for completing that task. If you want to get things done, the first step is to set fake deadlines. If your project is due on Friday, for example, set a personal deadline for Wednesday instead. When a due date for an assignment or a goal is given a limited amount of time, it forces your brain into what I call task clarity and commitment. As the time runs out for the completion of a project, there is less room for overthinking or procrastination. We shift into action mode, focusing only on the essential steps to get the task done while avoiding too much stress from the immediate deadline. So admittedly, not all tasks or goals are the same, right? But something that can be done in 2 hours should not take you 2 weeks to complete. So learn to move with speed, utilizing the time you have in the present, because you have no idea what's going to happen in the future. All right, let's move on to the next step, which is to make the future feel real. Visualize the consequences of procrastination or you not being able to accomplish your goal. This can be a good starting point to generate the minimal amount of stress that is needed to get your brain thinking about solutions rather than focusing on the problems or procrastination from overthinking. For example, if you can imagine the stress of cramming the night before a big exam, which I think all of us have done at this point, this will help you to study proactively in the present to limit the amount of stress that you will feel closer to the date of the exam. Or you can think about the positive impact your goal will have on your peers, family, or your community. Visualizing the benefits of your future accomplishments can give you the boost of dopamine and motivation that you need to get started in the present. So bringing the future to the present by emphasizing the importance of and value of your future results is a great way to jumpstart your brain and force yourself to get started. The final tip is making your goals feel fun. One of my favorite YouTubers, Ali Abdaal, shout out to you, Ali, talks about this in his book, Feel Good Productivity, where he emphasizes that we're far more productive when we enjoy the process of accomplishing our goals. Instead of relying on willpower, he suggests making tasks fun, energizing, and fulfilling. This increases our chances of following through with the process and hopefully somehow achieving our goals in the end of that process. So rather than avoiding or dreading your goals, attach them to a place of enjoyment. For example, working in a cozy cafe with ambient music to make your experience more fun and enjoyable. Or setting up systems of reward for every time you spend 4 hours of uninterruptible time working on your dreams and your vision. When tasks feel enjoyable, your brain releases more dopamine, making us want to repeat that behavior. So fun tasks feel less of a chore and more like an engaging activity, increasing consistency and motivation. Applying these tips can help you go from avoidance and unproductivity to progress and personal fulfillment through goal achievement. If you're lacking clarity and need a detailed plan of action for 2025, then check out this video over here and check out the links in the description for a step-by-step vision planning workbook that you can use to capture your vision and define your goals for 2025. I hope this video was helpful to you and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys in the next video.